Hi, this is Jean Hopp, and welcome to CSC208 Ethics and Technology. This section of this module is going to go over D2L and the basic information about the class itself. The second part of this will be about the background for the class, some interesting thoughts and ideas and some assignments. All right, about me. My name's Jean Hopp. I have a bachelor's in accountancy from DePaul, a master's in computer science from Illinois Institute of Technology, and I'm currently at DePaul working on my PhD in education technology as it relates to the education of adults, which is what andragogy means. I have worked in the real world. I've been a financial analyst for Florsheim Shoes. I've programmed database programming for TransUnion Credit Information Company. I've been a performance analyst for systems and cellular systems, computer systems and cellular systems for AT&T Bell Laboratories, where I worked for about 13 years. I also have done some programming there. I've owned my own business doing design and development of web pages, and I've taught at DePaul as well as IIT. Okay, about this course, everything is on D2L. If it's not on D2L, you don't need to use it. Your course is broken into 5 grades to make up your final grade. Participation is 20%. That's going to be both quantity and quality. Current events articles, there's 5 of them, one due every 2 weeks. You have a template to fill out. We're going to probably pick the best one and then have group discussions on it. We have a personal ethics paper, which we do around the midterm. That's 20%. Quizzes and final exam will both be given online. Do not require a proctor. You can take them anywhere. And those are under the quizzes section of D2L. Everything you need is on D2L. I suggest, or strongly suggest actually, that you go to the Start Here section on content and go through the orientation, the syllabus, etc. My late policy is, except for the personal ethics paper, you cannot hand in anything late. D2L will shut down and not allow you to submit after the due date and the due time. So be aware of that. Personal ethics paper, you can hand it late up to 1 week. However, each day is 10% off, and after 7 days, it's 0. Extra credit, my policy is no extra credit. I feel it's been my experience with many times I've taught this class that many people are struggling to balance everything and to get their work done and their other coursework done, their family responsibilities and everything, and they manage to make good grades on it. So I don't think it's fair to them to give extra credit to people. Finally, special accommodations. If you have if you're a plus student, you need to email to me and send me your letter so that I can make your accommodations. If you have a personal issue, you need to tell me as soon as possible so that we can make arrangements to get your, if you need a late, that's okay. I've had people, you also need backup for this. So like I have people who have come to me having mental health problems, a death in the family, a member of the family getting transplant. I mean, like, just really different kinds of stuff. So the important thing is to let me know ahead of time. Don't come to me at the end of the year and tell me about it, because it'll be too late. Okay, when you see this is a sign to you that there's an activity or an assignment that you have to do. You'll see St. Vincent in the slide number, and the color of the font is going to be brown. And it'll be labeled either required or optional. Optional, you do not have to do and will not be tested on. Optional is only for more information. Sometimes it's just something that's fun or funny, or something I thought that expands more on one of our topics. Okay, so if you have any questions, first thing is check out the Start Here section and make sure you go through all that material. Second thing is post any questions you might have to discussions student to student, see if anyone of your peers knows the answer. Finally, you can email me. I answer things within 24 hours usually. Make sure you follow the rules for emailing me with problems. Make sure you put CSC208 and your section number, or you can just put CSC208 in there. So that's it for the upfront kind of bookkeeping stuff. Let's get started with the class. Okay, so Module 0, Ethics and Technology, it's no small matter. Okay, at the end of this module, you should be able to relate to your fellow classmates, know what their backgrounds are and their interests, see what you have in common with them, what you don't. And you should also be aware at the end of this section, this module, about the fact that there are daily ethical choices we're making. They might be small, they're not all earth-shattering, life and death situations, but we have ethical issues every day. So that's what you should be aware of at the end of this. Okay, so we're going to start out with a survey. This survey is a business ethics application survey, so you'll need to stop this movie, go to Content, Course Modules, Module 0 Presentation, and click on that business ethics application survey and take it. It's very interesting because I think it gives you a little insight into what I mean when I say that there are ethical issues in our everyday kind of stuff. So once you finish this survey, return and start the presentation again. Okay, so you've seen that business ethics survey. Yeah, little stuff. I use up the paper and I don't put it in. And there's some big things too. Gossip. All right. So why take this class? Well, because I agree with Socrates. We are discussing no small matter, but how we ought to live. That's what ethics are all about. That's what all our choices are. So the reason we have this class is not DePaul has this class is not to teach you ethics, but to give you practice in ethics, to give you framework so that you can, think about how you're going to make ethical choices, and not just the little ones. Maybe something will come up at work, and then you don't know. This way you have had practice. We've had scenarios, and we've heard other people's ways of looking at things too, which that would help us to understand how other people are looking at ethics. So that's why we're taking this class. Now, this is required assignment, introduction assignment. You're going to need to make a video introduction of yourself. It has to be 90 seconds or less. We want to know your name, your hometown, whether you work a full-time job or you're a full-time student, or you work in multiple jobs and you're a student, I don't know, your major, your year, and one interesting or unusual thing about you. Now, you may not think things are interesting or unusual about you. I had one person who actually told me at the end, or told all of us at the end of her video introduction, that she did not know anything interesting about herself, and then she said, except I was once in a coma for 3 weeks, and then she didn't tell us anything else. So I don't know, that was interesting. So you're going to need to post a video introduction of yourself. You can wait till the end of this to do it, and read the checklist for the due date and read the assignment, because you also have to comment on at least 2 other people's postings. Okay, so let's talk about ethics. So let's look at this video. You're going to need to stop this, go to the content item, course modules, module 0 presentation, go to YouTube Star Wars Kid. The interesting thing about this video, you're going to watch this video, is that, and you don't have to watch the whole thing, like half a minute is more than enough. But what he did is he was in the basement. He's a high school student in the basement of the high school, and he had the recording equipment. So he recorded himself doing this, thinking that they would never see the light of day, that these tapes are recorded on top, like they go and take them out for the sports. So it was taken out. They saw this on here, these teenagers, and they posted it on YouTube. And so this is the YouTube that they posted. So you just watch a couple of minutes of this, or half a minute actually, and then come back and proceed with this video. You'll find it as a content item though. Okay, so the whole question is it right to post videos and pictures on the internet without that person's permission? Well, this boy sued. His parents sued the people who posted it, and they settled out of court. I think he was asking for $250,000. Is it right to post videos and pictures on the internet without that person's permission? I don't know. Like, what if you're a politician, you're the president of the United States, and you're out doing something wrong, something socially wrong? I don't know if it's right or not, and this is what we're going to discuss later in this class. But this is a minor example. High school things happen, right? And so, yeah, everyone has their embarrassing high school story. His was really like more public, but this is like a minor example. So let's take something a little more involved. Okay. So what you need to do is you're going to stop this, and we're going to look at collision warning systems. It's a short YouTube. So go to Content, Course Modules, Module 0 Presentation, and click on Collision Warning Systems and watch that YouTube. Then come back here and proceed with your presentation. Okay, so collision mitigation systems, all good, right? It saves lives, helps protects against injuries. I mean, who wouldn't want them? So why shouldn't every car have a collision mitigation system? Is it okay to say, well, they cost too much money? Is that ethical? Is that almost like denying medical service? I don't know. This example of technology and the cost-benefit analysis of it, that's how it goes, because it's part of a business. But what about the ethics of it? So this is another example. This actually affects anyone who's out there driving or walking, right? Because it's a collision mitigation system. So let's continue to something that's even more life and death. Baby Teresa. Okay, baby Teresa, born in Florida, anencephalic. She has she's missing her cerebellum and her cerebrum. She only has a brain stem. She doesn't have any brain above her eyes, and her head's not even closed. So she can never survive. And I know that a lot of my courses get hung up on this idea that she can never survive, but she can never survive. That's just it. There's no miracle that's going to give her this brain tissue. So they can't tell she's asleep. They can't tell when she's awake. Is she even alive? Can we consider her a person? She has no sense of consciousness because she doesn't have a brain. All right. Now the question here was that her parents wanted her organs transplanted, but you can't wait till they die because the transplanted organs aren't good anymore. They deteriorate. So the question was, should she have been killed so her organs could have been transplanted? Well, her family was brought to court because they were trying to make meaning out of her life, right? So give someone her eyes, give somebody her heart, let her live in other people. And so should she have been killed so her organs could have been transplanted? Well, is she human? Yes, but is she human if she has no conscious existence? It's not like she's in a coma. She has no conscious existence. So that's a very extreme example, a life and death example of ethics. There is no right answer to this. So that's another example. So Einstein said it has become appallingly obvious that our technology has exceeded our humanity. What's happened is our technology has moved ahead very fast, and we have to come up with these ethical answers to things that are brand new to us. And our humanity, our sense of being good has to expand to meet this technology, and I believe that's what he meant with this, that we haven't expanded. But what we will talk about is the fact that technology is progressing in leaps and bounds, and we're just not ready. And so we have to start. This is one reason why you take this class, is we're not ready, and you're going to be out there on the cutting edge, sometimes the bleeding edge of this new brave new world. So to finish up this thing, we have one more slide after this. Take the basic survey. It's required, but I do not know who's taken it. So it's anonymous. You go to content, course modules, module 0, presentation, take the student basic survey. Now what this does is it asks, I would like to know how many of you have already taken classes in ethics, but there's a question that asks you to identify where you feel you are on the ethical spectrum. And the reason I put that in there is I thought it would be interesting to see, because I was doing research on learning, and there was a paper on ethics, classes in ethics, and how students rated themselves as ethical people before the class, and then how they rated themselves at the end of the class. And I thought that would be probably interesting to see if there was a change, and that would be something that we'll do at the end that I would share with you. So here we're at the end of the module. It's in brown, and DePaul is there because you have to go make sure you do your introductions discussion and participate in that right now. And you should have an idea now of how we're exposed to ethics and ethical choices every day. Some very small. I use up the paper and I didn't put it in. And some really big. Baby Teresa. So after you do your introductions discussion, you're ready to begin module 1. How did I get here? And how did I get here is so many hours discussion about the history of technology, technological milestones, and how those have affected us as a society. So if you have any questions, check out the boards. Make sure you look at the orientation and everything that's under start here, and then content start here, and then email me if you still have any questions, and enjoy.